Nebuchadnezzar penned this document, and it became a national record of Nebuchadnezzar explaining all that he went through. And so Daniel chapter 4, it's a long chapter. We're not going to go through it, all of it. But again, Nebuchadnezzar has a vision. Daniel interprets it, and then it comes true. And it gets fulfilled in a very short period of time. It's one of the, and not something that's still future even for us. So Daniel, the book of Daniel, if you're not familiar, the book of Daniel is much like the book of Revelation. They're very linked to one, and not the church. And the Lord reveals to Daniel at the end of time what Israel will go through at the end of time, and it speaks of a restoration, which many of the other prophets speak of a restoration at the end of time. So verse 4, Daniel 4, verse 4, I, Nebuchadnezzar, was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Now this is a second dream that Nebuchadnezzar had. We learned about the first one in chapter 2 of the book of Daniel. This is a second dream that he's trying to get an interpretation from all his wise men, and ultimately God reveals it to Daniel. Then came in the magicians and the astrologers, the Chaldeans and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at the last Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belshazzar, according to the name of my God, and in whom is the spirit of the holy gods. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee, tell me the visions of my dream, that I may see, or that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Thus have the visions of my head in my bed. I saw, and behold, a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. And the reason, if you remember, I preached on this a little bit before, a few weeks back, because of this, in the dream. This is a different look at this same sermon, or previous sermon. That was the mustard tree I preached on, and explained this a little bit about this dream that Nebuchadnezzar has. Trees were a symbol, or a tree that stood above other trees symbolized an empire that towered over the other empires of the world, the nations of the world. The Lord uses that 3 times in the Old Testament, and it helps us interpret the parable of the mustard seed, the grain of mustard seed, and it becoming a tree. And so, verse 11 again, the tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in the burrows thereof, and all flesh was fed of it. Not burrows, but boughs, the branches, and all flesh was fed of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and beheld a watcher, a holy one, come down from heaven. And he cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. This dream I, Nebuchadnezzar, have seen. Now thou, O Belshazzar, declare the interpretation thereof, for as much as all the wise men of my kingdom are not able to make known unto me the interpretation, but thou art able, for the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. And so, what Daniel interprets it. There's a lot packed into this message. So much so, we're going to have to take 2 Sundays to bring the full interpretation. Next Sunday, we will not be meeting here. No, we will be meeting at the Indianapolis Baptist Temple. Hope you can join us. It'll be 10:30. Their service time starts. And celebrating the 75th anniversary. Pastor Dixon was supposed to preach and speak. I don't know. He may do a recording. I doubt he'll be present, but he may do a recording, record a message, and they'll play the recording. So again, we will not be here. So the next Sunday is Father's Day. Hope you can be here for part 2 of this message. Autocracy, totalitarianism, dictatorship, pretty much all cover the same type of leadership, government, monarchy, where there is sole power in the hands of one individual. The foundation of dictatorship is patterned after Nebuchadnezzar's autocracy over Babylon, the first in a series of empires to be classified as the times of the Gentiles. We see that in Luke 21, in Luke's version of the Olivet Discourse. Luke not only points out in his in the Olivet Discourse of the coming end of Israel in their land, but it also speaks of a future period of time when the tribulation will take place, and it parallels with Matthew chapter 24. All those scattered Jews are coming back. They're coming back towards Israel. God is using the events to cause them to come back together. But in 70 AD, Titus came in and ransacked the city and scattered the Jews and killed the Jews of the Gentiles until the time, and that is still continuing on. Even though Israel is in their land, they're protected by, they've gotten a lot of money and a lot of military strength and equipment from their allies, the prominent nation, protecting Israel from their enemies, surrounding neighboring enemies. Daniel was given detail upon detail through visions of the rise of the mighty Gentile powers that will reign in the earth. Okay, we know that it was the Babylonian Empire, then the Medo-Persian Empire overthrew the Babylonian Empire. Then you had the Grecian Empire that under Alexander the Great, who then defeated the Medo-Persians, and then the Roman Empire defeated the Grecian Empire. And we are still in the Roman Empire. It's just been fragmented, and all these United Nations and foreign entities, World Economic Forum, the World Bank, the World Court, United Nations, the WHO, their whole design is to bring the powers back under control of one leader. And